Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy New Year. It's a snowy day outside here in Colorado, so we can't do any riding, but we figured we'd just kind of wrap up the year and head into the new one talking about what bikes we have here in our fleet and kind of what our future plans are with these motorcycles.
Yeah, we've done fleet updates for some of the other channels, but this is the first time we're doing it for bike, and we're doing it for a reason because, like Alex said, we're coming to the end of the year. We've shot a lot of videos with all of these bikes, so we're planning to change up our garage a little bit, and that's going to start with this Ducati. The plan is to sell this because we've produced a lot of videos with it. Roman made videos about it when he first bought it. Then we've done a bunch of comparisons with it, including a comparison against this Triumph Scrambler. So I think we've gotten our money's worth. We're going to sell it, and then we want you guys to let us know in the comments what bikes would you like to see on the channel, and we've got a couple ideas about that.
Yeah, so we'll get to those ideas at the end of this video. Let's just kind of run through what's going on with each one of these bikes, and then we'll talk about what bikes we're eyeing up for 2022. And I guess we'll kind of just go back and forth. I'll start off with the Monkey. So this is Tommy's personal motorcycle. It's 2020? I think it's a 2020 Honda Monkey.
It's 2020.
He's had it pretty much exactly a year now, and we've done a ton of videos with this bike. We've done some tutorials, tire changes. We took it to Moab. Tommy's taken it off-road in Colorado. And man, has this been an awesome bike. A year ago, never thought I would have bought a Honda Monkey, and now I'm the owner of one.
Yeah, now you own one too.
Yeah, exactly. I totally have fallen in love with it, and they're really sweet bikes.
Absolutely, and now Tommy has used this as a motorcycle to learn how to ride on, and he's thinking about maybe expanding into a slightly bigger bike. I know he was looking at, the CRF 300... L maybe?
Yeah, the rally
like
version
that,
of the
rally,
CRF.
if you could get your hands on one. So also let us know in the comments if you have any recommendations for Tommy for a bike. There's a lot of different things he's looking at. I think he definitely wants something that leans a little bit more off-road.
Yeah, I think the new KLX 300s would be really good for him. So if you have any suggestions on that, let us know. I'm sure he'll read through the comments.
Then we've got this Triumph Scrambler. This is another motorcycle that we've done a bunch of videos with. Of course, Roman did a video with it when he first bought it. And again, we've done a number of comparisons on it. It's just a beautifully pieced together bike. And this is one that's going to be hanging around for a little bit. But I'm sure also at some point this will make way for something else in the future because, the Micahs, they like getting new vehicles.
Yeah, this is just one of the prettiest bikes I've laid my eyes on this year. Walking into the office every day and seeing this parked here. It's a beautiful bike. I love the brown in combination with the green tank and that yellow stripe, especially with these gold Öhlins suspension bits in the back. It's beautiful. Love it.
I love the way that it rides. I know, Alex, since you're more of a sport bike guy, and this has a 21-inch front wheel. This bike doesn't quite handle the way that you like a bike to.
It's not terrible, though. The first time I rode it, I was like, okay, this is not great. And then I realized the front tire was just pretty low on pressure. Once I aired that front tire back up, it rode a lot better. But yeah, still, I prefer 17s on a motorcycle.
This is also a bit more my style of bike. It's retro. I don't mind the tall seat height. And it's just a very aesthetic, comfortable bike to cruise around on, so I like it a lot. And then moving to this Ducati, yeah, we've had some interesting experiences with this. One of the more interesting experiences that we had with this was doing the oil change on it, which was a major pain.
Yeah, that was definitely a huge pain. We had to remove the entire exhaust to make it happen. This bike still has an oil light on it, so it's reminding you constantly that it needs an oil change, although it was done just maybe 100 miles ago or something on this motor.
And to be fair to Ducati, that's actually something that's becoming pretty common in the bike industry, is that you have to take your motorcycle to the dealership to get them to reset the oil light. You can't reset it yourself, and you can't bring it to the dealership to have them reset it if they didn't do the oil change. So serviceability on motorcycles is going down, which is a little...
Definitely a bummer.
Yeah.
Maintenance at a shop is expensive. Oil changes are simple. It's something you should be able to do in your garage, and then when something bigger goes wrong, then you maybe take it into the dealership. But an oil change, you should be able to reset that light on your own. But good bike. We actually bought this from Ducati. I went out and rode this over a year ago in LA.
Yeah, this was one of their press bikes. This was a bike for testing by people like us.
And we liked it, so we bought it.
We bought it out of the press fleet. And this is a fantastic bike. It rides really well, and it is one of the prettiest motorcycles period. I mean, the style of this bike is just incredible.
Yeah, it's a good city bike. I like how it rides. You sit up real high. The bars are really wide, so it's a fun bike, but probably not as fun as what Kase is throwing his leg over right now, which was a huge hit for this year, the Trail 125. And man, are these unobtainium right now.
Yeah, you really can't get your hands on these at the moment, and for good reason. They're super cool, super retro. They're under $4,000 MSRP, brand new, if you can get your hands on one. Not that you really can. And just a ton of fun. Our only major complaint with this trail is this heel shifter design. It's kind of hard to find, especially in a wide riding boot, a place for you to sit your foot where you're not touching either part of the shifter. You have to either be really on the outside of the peg or on kind of an awkward part of your foot, having your foot at an angle. But we've ridden it off-road. It's durable. It's a hell of a lot heavier and larger than the old school Honda Trails. We've done some comparisons with this against some of the older Honda Trails.
But it's fuel injected, unlike the old Honda Trails.
Fuel injected, which is nice. And again, for as inexpensive as it is, it's just a beautifully made thing, and it's so much fun to be on, so much fun to look at. This as maybe a second or third motorcycle in your fleet, if you were looking for such a thing, this would be a blast to add in there. And what's really impressive is I did a video with Roman and Tommy where Roman was in an electric Mini, Tommy was in a hybrid, and I was riding this, and we did the same 50 or so mile loop, and I beat them both in terms of cost to run. I got 129 miles per gallon on this at 50 miles an hour wrung out the entire day.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. Super cool result. Definitely check that video out. But just a really fascinating bike that everyone wants to stop and talk to you about. Not maybe quite as cool as the old ones. Doesn't have a low range like the old ones, and that heel shifter is a little bit of an issue like you talked about. But super practical with that rack on the back. We carried a huge pizza on there.
Yeah, we did.
And this is the only bike out of these four that we don't actually own. This is just on loan to us right now from Honda. And man, do we wish we could buy this.
Yeah, and actually some of the first videos that we ever did on the bike channel were a series of videos where we rescued some old school Honda Trail 90s out of a barn. So if you want to check those out, those were pretty cool videos too. This has a soft spot in our hearts just because of that. But now we have to get on to the bikes that we are looking forward to.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So there's a mix here of new motorcycles that were just released and some old school ones that maybe we can rag on a little bit and you guys might really enjoy. So let us know in the comments if we're missing anything here or if one of these is definitely a home run. But one of the bikes I would love to buy next year is a TW200. I think we could just really have a blast with that out on the trail. You can drop those all day long and they take a beating, and they've got a huge like ATV tire on the rear. I owned one in college. I miss it a ton, and they're affordable. So I think we should buy one of those. You've got a couple other ideas.
Yeah, we were also talking about a Triumph Trident 660 because that was a motorcycle that excited us a lot when it came out. Triumph, again, does a really great job with build quality, materials, and the Trident 660 isn't crazy expensive. That's a good size of motorcycle for someone who's either just looking for a fun, lightweight bike that they could throw around, or if you're just getting into motorcycling and you want something that you can grow into, but it's not too big to learn on. I think it's just an all-around really great bike. Yeah. So that's one that I wouldn't mind having. And
actually with that bike, you say, you know, to put a beginner on, it's a good motor size, but it's a full-size motorcycle as well. If we end up getting one of those, we got to put Tommy on it and make him ride a little bit more.
And I think he would like it a lot too.
I do too. And I think he's, you know, got a little bit of fear with the bigger motorcycles, but he shouldn't. He needs to get on a Trident 660 because it's got the perfect amount of power, and he'll want to buy one.
And plus, Roman and Tommy love their British vehicles.
Exactly. So he can't resist a Triumph. There's no way. So we might get one of those. Also, the Desert X from Ducati.
Yeah, which might just be a little too expensive. I think there's just more things that we could do with our funding for that amount of money, but that is a motorcycle that appeals to us a lot, especially being out here in Colorado. We would have great terrain to test it on, and it's another beautiful bike that I would love to walk into the office and see every day.
And then there's the electric bikes. We haven't really dabbled into owning electric bikes on the channel, but there's a lot of them coming out. Zero's got some new models. That Saunders Metacycle looks really cool, although it's got some pretty big delays, it looks like. So we're going to toy around with that too. If there's any electric bikes that you're dying to see on the channel, let us know in the comments as well.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're making these videos for you guys to watch. So if there's motorcycles that are at the top of your list that you would really want to see videos on, those are the bikes that we want to have in our fleet. So be sure to let us know. And I'd say that's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Happy New Year to all of you guys. Stay safe if you're riding out there, and we'll catch you in the next video.